Okay, I want to start off with what I call the open chord concept. You know, on a piano, there's so many keys available. 88 keys typically have all those strings, so to speak. And on a guitar, we only have 6 strings. So we're pretty outnumbered. So the idea is to try to get the most out of this 6-stringed instrument. And one of the ways to do that is what I call the open chord concept. It's to take advantage of all these strings. Instead of just like in the key of D sometimes can be very limiting. You know, you just kind of have those 4 little strings there. But in the key of E, which we call the ultimate guitar key, it just can take advantage of all these open strings here. Oh God, you are my God, and I will ever praise you. Just watch some of these chords. Oh God, you are my God, and I will ever praise you. I go into another song. Better is one day in your courts, better is one day in your house. I could sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love forever. Let me just stop there for a minute and show you what I'm doing. This all revolves around this sort of what I call train tracks, where you take your ring finger and your pinky of the left hand and you put it on the G and the D string right there. And you're going to just slide those fingers up and down. They're never going to leave. Can you hear that? It's a neat sound. And they're never going to leave the guitar neck. They're just going to be gently laying on those strings. And we're going to move through this chord progression. And all we're doing is sliding those fingers up and down. And as we do that, we're just changing the bass notes. So we start off on the 1 chord. Okay, we'll call that the 1 chord, and then we move up to the 2 chord, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then what we'll call a 7 chord, and then back to 1. And it just allows us to keep this low E in the bass, and walk up, and keep all these strings ringing out. And it's kind of like instant modern worship as far as the sound. You know, instead of going E, F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A, C sharp minor, back to E. Sometimes those kinds of chords can be very traditional, which is not bad. But it seems like taking those same chords and using this open chord concept, it somehow gives it a more modern sound, okay? So I'm just going to go back to that for a minute and play through some songs and just get a visual of what I'm doing here. I'm just allowing these high strings to ring out, and I'm just changing the bass notes while I slide these fingers up and down. So, to see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Lord, pour out your power and love. Slide up as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Arise, 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 arise. Take your place, be enthroned on our praise. And here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. Amazing love, I know it's true. And it's my joy to honor you. In all I do, I honor you. I mean, it's so convenient as a worship leader to not be preoccupied with all these kinds of chords, but to just be able to, when when you're leading to just occasionally look down to make sure you're sliding to the right fret. But just to slide those fingers up and down, and they provide sort of an anchor. Your ring finger and pinky are sort of an anchor. They kind of keep you in position to play so many of these songs, old hymns, you know. All hail the power of Jesus' name. Let angels prostrate fall. Bring forth the royal diadem and crown him Lord of all. There's one exception there. Bring forth the royal diadem and crown him Lord of all. Anyway, I could just keep going on and on with this concept, but let's slow things down and let's go up the chord scale. Start off with the 1, and then we slide down to what would be like an A2 chord, but we're going to add the bass note there in my left hand, and I'm muting this A string, okay? You don't want, you know, although that doesn't sound bad there, but it will sound bad later. So there's our 2 chord. Again, just a beautiful sound. And then we'll slide that up 2 frets to basically a 1 chord over the 3rd in the bass. But it can also function as a 3 minor chord. So just right there, you have the first 3 chords. And then slide that up. And now we're going to go to the 4 chord, and we slide these fingers there, down 2 frets, and then with the A in the bass, try to get a clean strum. See the right hand here. See how we're trying to get a clean strum with making sure you're playing the proper bass note in the top is very important. You don't want to play the E on this chord. It's going to be kind of sloppy if you do that. So strive for a nice, even attacking that bass note. Here comes the A. And then we slide that up and put our index finger there. And that's like a 5 sus chord, or in this case, it's a B suspended, B sus. And then we'll slide that whole shape up 2 more frets. And that's the 6 minor. And then, this is a little strange, but we'll go back like we're going to play 1, but let's keep our index finger down. And we get it's a little dissonant, but it's a pleasant dissonance to our ears. There's something about that we like, and you hear it all the time. And here I am to worship, here I am to bow down. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes I want to. So just get used to that. On the 1, you're playing the low E. It's a nice full sound. But this next time, then I'm making sure that my right hand is attacking that note. And I'm not playing the high E anymore. I'm kind of muting. If you notice my left hand, with my index finger, when I hold down that bass note, I'm just allowing the tip of my finger to touch the low E, okay? And what that does is mute the low E. So it's, hear that? So I'm going from the low E's ringing out, and then I go, see how you're not hearing that E? Same thing when I go down to the 6 chord. I'm trying not to play the low E. Now, in the beginning, you may do that occasionally. And then here's our A. And sometimes, to avoid playing that low E, I'll just take one of these available fingers and just lightly touch that low E. And that's a mute, okay? So that way, and you develop a touch for it, you develop a feel for it, just like driving a stick shift. So let's just work on that movement right now. Just try to get a nice clean strum. Nice clean strum again. In the right hand, I'm using a pick that's not too heavy, not too thin. I prefer kind of a medium pick so there's a little bit of give to it. And we get a nice, clean strum. Strumming-wise, on the right hand strumming pattern, you can keep it simple depending upon where you're at. We're going to spend more time with some right hand strumming techniques later in this video, but the idea is to try to make sure you're attacking the correct bass note and you're striving for just a relaxed strum. I'm kind of going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So I'm not really thinking about it, but if we slow it down, it's like down, up, down, up, down, up, down. But I'm actually just allowing my hand to do this. And it's like you take your hand away, your right hand away from the guitar to accent the strums that you want. So it's like down, up, down. Just watch my right hand. See, it looks like I'm just doing this. Because, again, you'll develop a feel for taking it away slightly. So it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. See, some of those, as I'm just going down and up, some of those are like ghost strums, ghost notes. So it's... Let's zero in on that right hand for a minute. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Into the 5 chord, and then we slide back to, there's our 1 chord. In this case, it's an E. And that's like an E5, by the way, just because we're not playing the 3rd of the chord. Now, you can break out of this pattern occasionally if you want to play an E, a regular E right there. And I'll show you, for example, on, let's look at a very familiar chorus. Now we're going to start on the 3 minor, or the 1/3. Okay, so it's, I'm forgiven because you were forsaken. I'm accepted, you were condemned. I'm alive and well, Spirit is within me, because you died and rose again. So I went to a regular E. Amazing love, how can it be? See how convenient that is? It's kind of, see the left hand, I'm already on this E that we all know by now. We know this regular standard E chord. But all of a sudden, just by lifting up these 2 fingers and dropping that pinky, I'm getting an A2, okay? So it's real convenient to, amazing love, how can it be? Back to the E, that you, my King, would die for. And now see, you're right in position. Amazing love, I know it's true. It's my joy to honor you. See that? In all I slide down, do I honor you. So don't feel like you can never break away from that pattern. The idea is to take advantage of this as much as possible, of just sliding these 2 fingers up and down the neck. But occasionally, you'll break out of it, and that's okay. I could sing of your love. I could sing of your love forever.